Events. Contents. January to December. January 20th, Duke Vladislav Locietek becomes King of Poland. April 6th, the Scots reaffirm their independence by signing the Declaration of Arbroath. Date unknown. Ghiyas al-Din Tughlaq founds the Tughlaq dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate. The Venetian arsenal is rebuilt as the Arsenal Nuovo. The Second Shepherd's Crusade begins. Dante's Quaesio d'Aqua Terra is published. In England, many horses die of a disease called farcine. The Byzantine governor in the Morea, Andronikos Asen, captures the Frankish castles of Akova, Karytana and St. George, securing control over Arcadia and Signoria. 1321 Easter. The Byzantine civil war of 1321–28 begins when Andronikos III Palaiologos initiates an uprising against Andronikos II Palaiologos. c. May–June. Leper scare. Rumors that lepers are attempting to poison the Christian population spread throughout southern France. The 14th of August, King Edward II of England reluctantly agrees to demands from his barons to send Hugh le Despencer, 1st Earl of Winchester, and his son Hugh Despencer the Younger into exile. The 29th of October, King Stephen Euros II Milutin of Serbia dies. His son Stephen Constantine claims the throne, but Constantine's younger half-brother Stephen Euros III Dekanski succeeds. A bad harvest brings famine in Europe. The Anatolian Beylik of Teki is established. Gračanica Monastery in Kosovo is rebuilt by the Serbian King Stefan Milutin. Spitskova Monastery is completed in Armenia. The University of Florence is established. Approximate date. Battle on the Irpin River. The Grand Duchy of Lithuania defeats Prince Stanislav of Kiev. January to December. January 6th, Stephen Euros III Dekanski is crowned King of Serbia, having defeated his half-brother Stefan Constantine in battle. February 13th, the central tower of Ely Cathedral in England falls on the night of 12th–13th. The Dalmatian House of Keglevich is for the first time mentioned in a document. March 10th, Battle of Burton Bridge, part of the Despencer War. Edward II of England drives off rebel forces. March 16th, Battle of Borough Bridge. Edward II of England defeats several rebellious barons. June 24th, Jews are expelled from France for third time. September 28th, Battle of Mühldorf. Bavaria defeats Austria. October 8th, Miladin Tusubik of Bribia, defeated in the Battle of Bliska, is arrested by the Parliament. October 14th, Battle of Old Byland, part of the First War of Scottish Independence. Robert the Bruce of Scotland defeats English troops in North Yorkshire. January to December. March 6th, under the Treaty of Paris, Louis I, Count of Flanders, relinquishes his claim to Zealand. July 18th, Thomas Aquinas is canonized. August 12th, the Treaty of Noteborg between Sweden and the Novgorod Republic is signed, regulating the border for the first time. October 24th, October 30th, Edward II of England stays at Liverpool Castle. Date unknown. Lithuania. In the letters of Gediminas, Vilnius is named as the capital city. Remains of the lighthouse of Alexandria are toppled by a series of earthquakes. Conflict between Ingeborg of Norway and the regencies of her son in Sweden and Norway, which ends with the diminution of her power. Date unknown. Marsilius of Padua writes his defense of the secular state, Defense Apacis. Emperor Musa I of Mali arrives in Cairo on his Hajj to Mecca, accompanied by an entourage numbering in the thousands and with hundreds of pounds of gold. This display of wealth garners the Mali Empire a place on European maps in 1395. On his return journey he peacefully annexes Timbuktu. The weak Black Death epidemic spreads through the southern parts of Asia. January to December. January 7th, Afonso IV becomes King of Portugal. February, Muhammad bin Tufluk succeeds his father Ghiyath al-Din Tufluk as Sultan of Delhi. March 13th, recognized date for the founding of Tenochtitlan on a small island in Lake Texcoco by the Mexica Empire at the dawn of the day. The Aztec capital becomes Mexico City in 1521. November 15th, Battle of Zapolino. Modena defeats Bologna. Date unknown. Volodymyr of Halych, last king of Rus of the Romanovici dynasty, is removed from the throne by his boyars, ending 126 years of Romanovici rule. The town of Bolu was conquered by the Ottoman Empire. Ibn Battuta begins his travels. Mansa Musa completes his pilgrimage to Mecca. January to December. 10 February 11 March, raid on Brandenburg. Allied forces of the Kingdom of Poland led by Vladislav I the Elbow High and of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania led by the pagan Gediminas raid Louis V of Germany's Margraviate of Brandenburg with the sanction of Pope John XXII. The 19th of April, a peace treaty in the peasant revolt in Flanders 1323 to 1328 is ratified. The 3rd of June, the Treaty of Novgorod delineates the border between Russia and Norway in Finnmark. The 24th of September, the invasion of England. October, Ibn Battuta reaches Mecca. Date unknown. Orhan I succeeds Osman I on the throne of the Ottoman Empire. Ingeborg of Norway is deposed from political power in Sweden. The use of the word cannon is first recorded in reference to a firearm. Foundation of Clare College, the University of Cambridge's second oldest college. The foundation of Oriel College, the University of Oxford's fifth oldest college, is confirmed by Royal Charter. January to December. January 25th, the 14-year-old Edward III is proclaimed King of England after his mother Isabella has engineered the abdication of his imprisoned father Edward II of England. On January 20th, Isabella and her lover Roger Mortimer rule as regents. April 6th, Tuscan writer Petrarch sees a woman he names Laura in the church of St. Clare d'Avignon, which awakes in him a lasting passion. He writes a series of sonnets and other poems in Italian dedicated to her, which are collected into Il Canzonia, an influential model for Renaissance culture. June 14th, peace treaty between Norway and Sund-Jylland. June 21st, Ingeborg of Norway marries her lover Knud Porst but is deposed from political power in Norway. November, Alfonso IV of Aragon begins his reign. English abbot Richard of Wallingford describes the construction of an astronomical clock in his Tractatus Horologiae Astronomici. January to December. May 1st, Treaty of Edinburgh. Northampton. England recognises Scotland as an independent nation after the Wars of Scottish Independence. May 12th, Nicholas V is consecrated at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome by the Bishop of Venice. May 26th, William of Ockham secretly leaves Avignon under threat from Pope John XXII. May 29th, King Philip VI of France is crowned, founding the Valois dynasty after the death of King Charles IV of France, who has no sons to inherit. August 23, Battle of Cassel, French troops stop an uprising of Flemish farmers. Date unknown. The Augustine Abbey in Munich is established. January to December. February 1st, King John of Bohemia captures Medviegalis, an important fortress of the pagan Grand Duchy of Lithuania, and baptizes 6,000 of its defenders. February 18th, Amdacian I, Emperor of Ethiopia, begins his campaigns in the southern Muslim provinces. March 27th, Pope John XXII condemns some teachings of Meister Eckhart as heretical. April, Anti-Pope Nicholas V is excommunicated by Pope John XXII. June 7th, David II becomes King of Scotland. June 10 – Bragganstown Massacre, County Louth, Ireland, over 160 killed. June 11 – Ottoman Turks defeat Byzantine Empire in the Battle of Maltepe. Date unknown. Aymon of Savoy becomes Count of Savoy. Construction begins on the Archcathedral Basilica of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary and St. Andrew in Fromborg, Poland. Hamburg, Germany, passes to the House of Wittelsbach. Michael of Cesena is deposed as general of the Franciscans. Stefan Duro's IV Dusan of Serbia defeats Stephen II Ban of Bosnia. Wiesbaden is granted the right of coinage by Louis IV, Holy Roman Emperor. Edward III of England pays homage to Philip VI of France for Aquitaine. Significant people, births, deaths.